Welcome to everybody. Thanks so much for being here. We've got like 30 people watching. If you could hit the like button, that would be awesome. Really helps the video to get out to more people. And for more online independent teachers to learn about marketing with the Chinese market. And here I am. I'm actually not in my normal surroundings, as you might notice. I'm actually in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for a few weeks. And this is like my little hotel Airbnb. So excuse the bed in the background and things like that. But anyway, I'm here, and it's been a couple weeks since I've done a live. So I'm really glad to be back and to bring you some great content and some really great guests to talk about marketing on Xiaohongshu today. If you are an independent teacher and you are struggling to find students, or you just want to grow your student base and you're looking for some strategies, I have some true experts who are in the trenches, learning the app thoroughly and helping and supporting teachers to do the same. So we're going to get started in just a couple minutes, but we've got so many people saying hello. So I'll try to say hello in the chat, and then we will rock and roll here with our conversation. So yeah, thanks so much, Lulu, for being first there. Looking forward to the chat, uplifting and motivating. Thank you so much. Gary Mack checking in. Looking forward to this. Hey, Melissa is teaching. Good to always see you. Hey, Deborah. And we've got Mary here, a regular on the show. Hey, from Canada. How is the weather in Canada? So I just flew from Bangkok to Kuala Lumpur, two fairly tropical countries, very close to each other. And it's been good weather here, but also very, very rainy. We're like in the thick of the rainy season. And it's kind of been raining most of the day, besides it being really, really hot. So we are in rainy season. I imagine that Canada is enjoying its couple of months of summer before the fall kicks in. Hey, Alexandra. We've got someone from Serbia. Cool. Hey, Simon. And Mariana as well from Serbia. Cool. Wow. Two people from Serbia. Do you know each other? Deborah from Tbilisi. Am I saying that right? Tbilisi. And we've got Southern California representing. Hey, Deborah. And Lizelle. Hello, hello. We've got Gail in Cape Town. Cool. Salam from Jordan. Hello, hello. And Health Quest. Hello. Cool. Wow. So many comments here. And again, if you're watching this live, you'll see the live chat on the right-hand side or underneath if you're using your mobile device. Would love to engage with you. Ask questions. If anything comes up, don't be shy. Say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and we'll do our best to get your answers for you. And if you're watching the replay, hello to you. Make sure that you use the comment section as well. I check all the comments that come through my YouTube channel, and would appreciate to hear from you. And if you've got questions for Kinga, Chris, or I, you can leave them down there. Hey, from New York City. Hot and humid in Canada. Okay, I can't remember what part of Canada you're from. We've got Lopburi, Thailand. Hey, Aaron. Cool. I don't know where that is. I'm also in Thailand, but as I mentioned, I live in Bangkok. We've got Liberty from Brighton. Jordan from PH. That's Philadelphia. Yeah, cool. And Sadia from South Africa. Awesome. Okay, we'll stop there, and we'll get on with the show. I'm going to bring up Kinga. Chris is actually going to join us. He's just landing. He's a true jet setter like myself, and he's at the airport somewhere. So when he joins us, he'll be in too. So welcome, Kinga. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm just the homebody of the group. So welcome to my home, everybody.
Yeah, that's not a green screen.
Nope, this is my real home.
Looks awesome.
Thanks.
Well, just to sort of like introduce this, Kinga was in my launch course last November or December, one of those. And you may have seen her story on my channel. Gosh, it was like January or February of this year, right? So quite a few months ago. And we connected, and I just love her energy. I love how driven she is. And she's just doing great things with her teaching business. And she can tell you a little bit more about that. But I wanted you to introduce yourself, Kinga. Where are you coming from? And like a quick snapshot of your teaching business now. That would be great.
Okay. Yeah, super. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. So happy to, have the opportunity to connect here again and keep you guys updated on my story, what's happened since that time for me. So just a little bit of background information about me. Before the double reduction policy, I had actually been in the ESL industry for quite some time. I've been teaching since college, so I've had experience teaching EU at brick and mortar schools, but I kind of got into online teaching about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So Tim, of course, helped me launch my independent business. And I was part of the OG launch
You were.
cohort. Yeah, so we're the OG crew. Um, Amazing. I try to think about where I would be if I hadn't taken that course. I can't really imagine. And it's been amazing since then. So basically, I have my Chinese student base, which is quite full. Right now, I'm about at 30 students. So
Wow.
that's pretty
Wait,
great.
wait, wait. So back up. You had 0 students during my course, and then you had, I think it was like 15 in February, maybe something like
Yeah,
that. And then since then, you've gotten another 15 students.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And exactly. So that's important for me to acknowledge that I didn't come from that VIP kid background, which most of my colleagues in the course did. And they were able to kind of take a student base with them, launching independently. I had nobody. I had WeChat contacts, but no one willing to take that step forward with me. So I was really at zero with no idea about where to source students. I was lucky enough to hear about Xiaohongshu from actually another teacher on the course. She just briefly mentioned it. I tried I tried my luck on the app and it's been scaling ever since. Besides that, I also want to say that I was very smart this time and I decided to diversify my income. And I also have a student base in the EU, which is about 20 students on
Wow.
during peak season. So I have those students too, um,
Wow.
just to keep it safe, just to
Just
play
to
it
keep,
safe.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, I think I've always talked about diversifying, and I'm like the diversifying king here because I do it with everything. I always try to have
Yeah,
different pockets of income when
yeah.
some things are down, and I'm not selling my course. I can rely on other things. But I always talk about like having secure buckets of income that pay the bills, and
Mm-hmm.
that move from company to private teaching for me, what is, while I'm working on my other bucket of passion projects or something that I'm really
Yeah.
interested in building up to be bigger. For you, is that now your independent teaching? Would you say that's like your kind of security to pay the bills?
Yeah, it has been my security, but I want to be transparent and it's been a learning process for me. There are things that I see that are working, that aren't. When you're just launching independently, you're very eager to get started and you're more willing to be flexible. And there are some things I need to fix and get the kinks out. So, is
Yeah.
it the income that I imagine that it would be for me, compared to when I was a platform teacher? Not exactly. It's a great start. I need to adjust some things, but
Right.
like I mentioned to you, Tim, every month I've been able to pay the bills. I'm grateful for that. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm focusing on for now, and I
Yeah.
can always adjust to my needs.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I just want to acknowledge a few other people who are tuning in. If you want to watch an incredible interview, there's Julie Gara from Quebec, Canada. I've
My
got to
girl
say,
Julie.
she's she's amazing. Like, if you want to be inspired, I mean, King is inspiring, and Chris is, and this whole Xiaohongshu thing. But Julie, you are as well. So thanks for being here, and others tuning in from New York. Cool. And Sean in Bali. Oh, I want to be there. That sounds
Me
awesome.
too.
So
Yeah.
okay, let's get into. So for those that don't know, Xiaohongshu is a Chinese social media app that lots of teachers are using to market themselves on. It's kind of like maybe comparable to our Instagram, and it has its own kind of unique features and things that Kinga and Chris have been learning about and teaching about in their Facebook group Xiaohongshu for Teachers. Um, can you tell me, what, maybe a little bit about how can a teacher, maybe someone's tuning in right now and has never really heard of Xiaohongshu. So we'll start from the basics. How can a teacher attract students on Xiaohongshu? Can you give us a sort of like a snapshot of what that might look like? And when teachers hear, well, getting students on Xiaohongshu, what exactly does that mean?
Hmm. Absolutely, yeah. It's a great question, and it's one that I've been thinking over every day of my life since then, and it's changed so much since I got on the app. And I always am very transparent with teachers, and say that for me, I have to say that for me, it was a matter of being in the right place at the right time, because there were teachers on Xiaohongshu when I joined over Christmas break, but it wasn't this to the extent of what it is today. And so I think it was a bit easier for me to attract um, students using even mediocre content. Now, with the influx of teachers on Xiaohongshu, it's a totally different landscape. And it's not, we have to remember the cultural context and, the policy, which is that we are not supposed to be teaching kids in China. So we have to remember that when we create our content. So that being said, it's like any social media strategy. It is providing value in whatever media you put forth, building a rapport with your community, and using your profile as a lead magnet by providing value, not necessarily hard marketing your classes, but by providing continual value and expressing yourself authentically, that will encourage students or potential leads to reach out to you.
Yeah. So it's a way for potential students and parents to get to know you as a teacher and be able to
Hmm.
funnel into your teaching business and learn about what you offer, not based on you just posting, hey, I'm a teacher and I have classes and here's what it looks like, me with all my puppets.
Yep.
It's more about, yeah, building an authentic audience, an authentic group of followers, of parents who are learning from you and can share your content with their children and have them, get value from what you're providing. It's just like any, like you said, like any social media, like YouTube.
Yeah.
I created YouTube videos to add value and teach people how to do things, and it grows and grows and grows and grows organically from that when you are strategic about it. So I know that
Absolutely.
you talk about you were in the right place at the right time. And I think for those that may not know what that means, that was a time when there weren't as many teachers on there creating content, and a lot of teachers didn't know about it. And so you were able to put out, as you say, mediocre content. I'm sure it wasn't,
Yes.
but you could put out
Ah,
like a video of your trial class or something like that. And teachers were, or parents were, desperately looking for teachers. And
yeah,
someone
exactly.
came across the profile on their social media, then that's a really, powerful way to get their attention. So that was kind of working back then, and you did very well in December getting lots of students to take trial classes. And you had some really great strategies that you talked about in that other interview. I'll actually
Hmm.
link that first interview
Perfect.
to your interview that we did in January, if people want to get sort of a more basic understanding of what you were doing. But
Hmm.
what kinds of, okay, before we do that, hold that thought. Chris has just tuned in, so we'll bring him up as well. And there he is.
Hi
Hey, Chris.
everyone, welcome. Hey
Hi,
Tim, hey
Chris.
Kinga.
Hey, so
Hi.
Chris, for those that don't know, Chris is the other part of Create and Funnel, which is Kinga and Chris's brand, teaching teachers how to use social media such as Xiaohongshu to attract your ideal students in China. And it's so cool that teachers are able to have success with this. I know you're kind of just arriving. Where did you? Okay, just tell us where you are right now.
I know I'm not home right now, even though it looks like it. I just landed from Valencia back home. I was just on a trip, just national trip. And
Okay.
so, yeah, thank
Sorry
you.
about this
Sorry
weird
for
thing
the
going.
ambient noise, if you
See,
can hear it.
No,
because
you
of
look
your
great.
course, Chris has been
Yes,
able to take his
Tim.
fifth vacation this year, Tim. Thank you.
There you
Tim,
go.
Honestly, like a year ago, with the whole education policy change, I couldn't even think about traveling. And now this summer, going independent, going solo, I've been able to really take up traveling, which is one of my hobbies. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, welcome. I'll just, before I forget about the question I asked Kinga, and you guys can both chime in. How has the landscape of Xiaohongshu, this social media app that we're able to access, how has the landscape of that changed since, Kinga and Chris, you guys started before the new year? What is working for teachers right now? Because I know you're helping so many teachers in your Facebook group to find students. What's working now? How have things changed? Can you give some tips for the audience here?
Well, I just want to say that it's become very competitive with the influx of teachers, and um, because it's so competitive, you just have to, fight for yourself a little bit. Like that means that involves various things. You have to have, first of all, you have to really figure out who you're targeting. So you have to really buckle down on your star student, pick your niche, and you have to think about quality of your content. What problem are you solving for your potential student, basically, and how are you the one to solve that problem? And I just want to go ahead and share Chris's expertise, because when things began changing and I saw that my reach was decreasing, I looked at Chris's content, and I'll let Chris introduce everything, but I saw his aesthetic and his strategy, and I was like, what is this guy doing over here? Okay, I need to follow that. And that's basically
Yeah.
how we came together. So Chris, I'll let you kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think when I met Kinga and when Kinga told me about Xiaohongshu way back when, it was, I feel like maybe this is simplifying things, but it was as easy as posting something related to your brand, that we talked about in Going Solo. And you would get followers, you would get parents talking and speaking with you. But since then, I think it's changed because, what Kinga said about the influx of teachers, you have to really re-strategize the way you're uploading and posting because it's become competitive. So the algorithm is now being more selective of what it's shooting out to potential parents on the app.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need now more of a strategy and a plan going into it than you did before.
Yeah, and I tweaked a lot of things in my Going Solo course to kind of get teachers to focus first on their niche and establishing who they're serving. Because yes, I mean, coming from a company, we taught ESL to whoever jumped in
Yes.
our calendar, right? But you can charge more if you're targeting students who are getting prepared for exams or wanting to go overseas, or your specialty is in something specific, then you can reach a market that's willing to pay more as well. So that's really kind of cool.
Absolutely.
I
And
want to address something. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say something about what you are saying here, Tim, because it's very interesting that when you ask teachers, like at a potential job interview, for example, what can you teach? Teachers always say, well, I could teach kids, teens, adults, that.
Yeah.
And it's like we're almost afraid to choose a niche, because it's like we're afraid of missing opportunities, or
Correct.
maybe we're afraid that if we focus on one thing, maybe someone might think we're not as, skilled at teaching something else. It's okay to focus on that one niche and to be more specific.
Yeah, I'd love to hear in the chat if anyone wants to share,
Yeah.
if you are teaching online or if you are moving in that direction. What is your niche? Just start with this. Who are you serving and what problem are you solving? What's the transformation that they get? So yeah, it'd be
Exactly.
cool to see. Someone wanted to just address what you said, Kinga, about, sorry, here it is. We aren't meant to be teaching children in China. So I wanted to also just, kind of follow up with that really quickly. It's that the regulations that the double reduction policy phrased was around the language of foreign Chinese ESL companies are no longer able to hire foreign based teachers to teach English to Chinese children. So they went after the big companies. A lot of them closed down. But this opened up a void of the opportunity for private teachers to teach Chinese students, which the government is really not going after in any kind of form. So, that's just what I wanted to say about that. So don't panic. You're not going to get yourself into any trouble with this. We just need to be a little bit low key on how we kind of market that on Chinese social media.
Exactly. Right.
Exactly.
Because if you're just, showing your expertise and your skill set on the profile, on the app, excuse me, then you're not really going against any guidelines,
Correct.
right? Because you're just showing what
Right,
you know,
right.
and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If someone happens to reach out to you, then good for them.
Is one of your YouTube channels open with our video? I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. Is that maybe coming from a tab? Did you possibly have it open? No, never mind if you don't. I'll keep talking.
Mine are muted.
Okay. Mary says,
I'm
my
good.
niche is building confidence so students can thrive. Awesome. So what students are you?
Yes.
Can you get a little bit more specific with that,
Exactly.
Mary? Maybe, are you, what age students, building confidence so students can thrive. So how are you doing that? What's the transformation? So that what? So that they can study abroad, so that they can be successful on an exam. So we have to get into the mindset of why parents are actually purchasing classes from us in the beginning. There's a reason. There is a competitive element that they want to be keeping their children up to the same level, if not higher than their peers. But there's also a very intrinsic reason that they want, for their children to most likely eventually be able to work maybe overseas or to have a great job and to be able to use their English confidently. Jarn says, I find it better to be diverse simply because getting locked into one area gets old quickly. It's good for me to mix up. Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. So what kind of content is working for teachers on Xiaohongshu?
Well, Chris is our
do you want me
content
to get that?
specialist. Yeah, so let's hand that off to Chris.
So, King and I really like to grab sources of inspiration, from Instagram, from TikTok, but we really also like to look within the app. And within the app, we see that, we look at perhaps at teachers that VIP Kid currently has or other teachers' profiles. And what we see that works is that, a post that offers sort of a humoristic vibe to it, but also a post that shows the result you can give to your ESL student or to your target base. And so some of the lessons that I've tried, for example, are phonics lessons. My most recent post is a phonics lesson. He's using the letter combination AM, and I show how to put those together with different examples in the words. Another type of post that really works well is daily life combined with lessons. So, for example, maybe you are doing some house chores, so you can go and film yourself, putting the laundry into your washing machine. You can maybe review your clothes, for example. So you really want to mix in this element of being genuine, being personal, with something of value that you can give to your parents. So, okay, look, these are the verbs maybe that we can talk about. This is perhaps a vocabulary lesson, a phonics lesson embedded within a daily life or something that's personal. So you want to avoid, you just want to avoid blatant marketing. The app, the algorithm behind it will probably, not optimize your post if you're blatantly offering something because the app's algorithms, its objective is all about sharing personal stories and sharing being valuable, genuine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great. And I love, I actually just watched a review from someone who took your boot camp course, and teacher Cherry, and she was talking about how she went into the lake. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but she was talking about prepositions. And she was on
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
land in the lake and just videoing herself. So that's really cool.
Incredible. It's incredible. And Tim, I think it just it resonates with the fact, being low key about it. You want to be approachable to your content. You don't want to say, here, I'm an English teacher, buy my courses.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, exactly.
who's going to do that? Who's going to want to do that? Yeah.
Exactly. Add value, be authentic, build an audience. And you don't have to have tons of followers on the app to be successful. Kinga, how many followers do you have?
Well, actually, and to be quite transparent, there are plenty of teachers who have more followers than I do, but that's not my aim to build a following. My aim is to build my student base. So I don't pay attention to, that statistic. Currently, I have 546 followers.
Yeah.
And I also want to say that, for me right now, it's quality, not quantity. So
Yeah.
building my student base right now has been slow because I am very selective about who I allow into my student base because
Right.
I need cooperation. I need to know that this person is reliable. They understand my value. If anything happens, like let's say my daughter got sick recently and I had to communicate to my parents, I can't come to class. They should be understanding of that. So I really need to be sure of who I'm working with. And
Chris is at the airport, so that is a stewardess, I think, getting ready to fly.
Yes, they're about to take off. So it's not about, I can grow and scale it as much as I need to. And to be honest, my last post on Xiaohongshu was 1 month ago, but I still get people reaching out to me because of the quality of the few posts that I have put out. People are still reaching out to me, trickling in my funnel every now and then. And I just screen them. Is this someone I'm willing to take on or not? And that's how it's going. If I need more students, I'll up my frequency of posting, for example.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm so proud of you guys, like what you have created beyond just your own teaching business. Like these guys have taken it to the next level and they have learned the app so intricately and so thoroughly to help us as independent teachers navigate the nuances of the app and what's working and what's not working. And if you're not in their group, Xiaohongshu for Teachers, you should be. And you'll get tons of value from that. But in addition to that, they've created bootcamp courses, I think 3 over the last several months. And
over 1 month. 1 month, Tim.
Over 1 month. Oh my gosh. So the bootcamp course was a free way for teachers to kind of get started, but get some really great support from you guys. If you were in the bootcamp and you're watching, please shout yourself out there. I would love to say hi. And yeah, I'm really happy to share the next level of what they're working on, which is their complete roadmap, their complete support to really help you. If you're serious about marketing in China and you're serious about getting students, then you want to get the best practices. You want to get the best tips. You want to get what's working and be in the community of others who are going through the same thing. So tell us a little bit about Create and Funnel and what your course is doing for teachers. Because I'll just say, on this live, we're not going to help you get a student right now. I would love to do that, but we just don't have the time to get into all the details of the marketing. And if you're brand new to posting on social media, it's kind of challenging, right? To sort of take out the phone, like, where do I put it? What do I say?
Yeah.
If you're a seasoned social media person, you're maybe on Instagram and you're quite familiar with posting, then you might kind of get the basics of creating content, the idea of creating content. But I would guess that a lot of teachers that are in your group are kind of new to this, especially for marketing their teaching business. So tell us about Create and Funnel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Kinga, if I could start us off.
Sure.
I think Create and Funnel really came, post going solo, and King and I were still in contact. And Kinga had told me about Xiaohongshu at the time, and I started posting, I think, some great content. It was structured, it followed a pattern. I think the algorithm really, was in favor of my content. But when it came down to the parent contacting me, and me trying to secure the deal or close the deal per se, I was at a loss. I was like, I don't know. I don't have this business salesman hat on. I don't have those skills. I was, I'm like, I was at a loss. So I reached out to Kinga, and she was able to really guide me on how to, talk to the parent, build a rapport, and negotiate, the deal so that they can sign my contract and enroll into my student base. So yeah, I don't know, Kinga, if you want to take it from there.
Yeah, so basically, Tim, it goes the framework goes launch, create, and funnel. So if we're really talking about, going independent, right? So we were able to launch solo thanks to Tim's proven framework, and it's worked really well. But let's say, you're someone like me who didn't have a student base. So you have to create content to start attracting those students and bringing them in. So you're creating a sort of lead magnet, as you will. And then your lead magnet is directing your leads into your funnel where you convert them into paying students. So that's basically the step-by-step process. And that's how Create and Funnel was born, because Chris is the creation of content. He provides, value on how to create content, what apps to use, how to edit, what to remember when creating content, what really attracts those students. And I am all about conversion and sales, how to close the deal and make the sale, and especially closing on the terms that you want to close on, because you'll have a lot of parents pressuring you to accept lower rates. There are also many recruiters there where you could just go the easy route and accept the class for $5 an hour, because there are people out there looking to take advantage of us as teachers. But we really want to set teachers up for success and independence. And what I'm also proud of in our community, Xiaohongshu for Teachers, is that we share that kind of information when someone is on the app looking to take advantage of us as teachers. We share that, and we let other teachers know they should look out for this person. And we just try to keep our teachers safe and protect them, and just be as successful as they can.
Great. So, I love what you guys are doing, and I think it just is such a great support for teachers, especially those that might have launched with my course, or who have kind of launched and they've started things and they've got the decisions made, and they kind of have maybe a few students, but you always want to have like a funnel, right? A flow of new ones when
Yeah,
some of them, because they're not all going to stay with you forever.
exactly.
You
Exactly.
need to have leads, and that's really important. Even if you're full,
Hmm.
get leads, get contacts, let them know. And also, when you're full and you've got someone and you're charging a rate that is higher than other teachers, you can you can be picky. I mean, you can say like, well, I'm full right now, so that shows that you're in demand, and
Yeah.
it keeps people wanting to get into your classes. I had a student last week who contacted me, and I didn't want to take any students on a couple of months ago, and I was confident to share my rate of $50 US, and they were happy to pay for it because
Okay.
they wanted in, and they've been waiting,
Hmm.
and they knew that I was full, so it really works. Tell us about the upcoming course that you guys have. And I want to say that I'm not an affiliate for the course. I really believe that this is such a valuable support for you independent teachers watching. And I vouch for Kinga and Chris and believe in what they're doing, and
Thanks.
wanted to share what they've created for teachers. If you're at that point of needing support and hand holding and direction,
Yeah. That's a
yeah,
great way to put it. The hand holding, the accountability. Basically, Chris, and I will let you get into the nitty gritty, but I just want to say that we're basically creating a resource that we wish we had had. Like, just in the sense of, if we didn't have that student base and we needed to scale a little bit further, we're basically just filling in the blanks of what we would need as far as attracting and converting students. So I will let Coach Chris handle the nitty gritty details of what that entails.
Yeah, well, the course is made up of 6 modules. It's self-paced, but really what it comes down to is having the contact of Kinga and I, being there not only for accountability, but check-in points, troubleshooting, video editing tips. Of course, has tool tutorials that we're gonna offer to you, and some special bonuses as well. A great content creator calendar that's innovative using Notion. If you've taken Tim's course, you're probably aware of Notion, so that'll help you definitely organize. And really, what comes down to the course is stepping, away from the ESL teacher seat and learning about the other seats that you need now as a teacherpreneur or as a teacher entrepreneur that Kinga and I love to say. Because now you need to learn how to market yourself, both creating, you know, content, posts, and using the social media platform as a tool to reach students and potential customers. And then you need to close the deal, right? Funnel. So then, you also learn that business sales strategies seat, and you know how to you kind of become this full-rounded person, not only as an ESL teacher, but also as a content creator, and also as a business sales specialist. And we love to call it all of that combined a teacherpreneur mindset, a teacherpreneur perspective. So this course is 2 weeks long. It's going to start on September 5th, and we'll have 4 group coaching calls where not only will we check in after every number of modules, but we're really going to push you to get uncomfortable, because we need to step out of this hat of like, okay, ESL teacher, no fireman, no learning partner, no teaching assistant is going to come and book classes for you. You need to now learn some more tools and have more expertise under your belt. And so I think that's what the course is going to achieve, for all of our members. Is there anything you would like to add, Kinga?
I think that about covers it. Just like for me, like what knowledge was lacking for me and what part of the course I'm excited for is like the tech tutorials, because Chris is the tech king. Like if you happen to join our last boot camp, it was next level. Like, oh my God, it was just beyond everything. And
Yeah.
he creates everything on Canva. I mean, he's an excellent editor. So I lack that knowledge and I'm just being greedy, and I'm excited for that aspect of the course myself. That's the skill I'm lacking in. So it's going to have all of that. I just want to say that I can't wait for that part, Chris.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. So thanks for sharing about that. It's createinfunnel.com. I've got it linked below as well. So as they say, if you know, you know, and if it's meant for you and it speaks to you, then, trust them and take them up on this really great opportunity. If you've got questions about Xiaohongshu, the course, or, independent teaching, we'll stick around for a few minutes. When is your flight, Chris, or have you already landed?
I've already landed.
Okay. We'll let you get home soon. But
Yeah.
I just see a few people that were commenting here.
Yeah, sure.
Kinga, how did you advertise and gain students from Europe?
Well, I live in Europe. I live in Poland. And like I said, I started as an ESL teacher in Poland. So I've always had a kind of student base that's evolved. And I've just collected those contacts over time. So, it's very organic. Like it'll be like my neighbors, like people in my community and people who were word of mouth referrals type thing. But yeah. So I just like to keep it there just in case, and I can also scale it as much as I need to. So that's something that really also allowed me to go independent fully, because I think I had about like 10 students in October before I was launching solo. So, I was able to use that base to kind of allow me to focus on independent teaching in China. So I've just kept that around just in case.
You only need 1 or 2 to get started, right? And then the referrals can really boost you. These
Exactly.
help. Struggling with a niche. I think I'll help students with sounding more native and having a better understanding of English. Okay. Also focus on helping students with autism. See, that's a really specific niche there, Lizelle, as one of my own kids is autistic. Awesome. So when we think about a niche, like a lot of times, you're probably helping people very similar to you or helping people that you have expertise in helping or teaching as well. So, I definitely think you're onto something with the autism there. So
Yeah. Can I just say something, Tim? Because this question has been asked recently, and
Mhm.
somebody asked about the context of using like a learning disability in your niche, right?
Hmm.
In China. And I
Right.
thought that was a very valuable question because we
Yeah.
also have to consider the cultural context. I'm not saying it can't be used, but you might need to rephrase it in a different way to
Yeah.
kind of sell it to parents, because parents are very weary of admitting that maybe their child has a disability. I'm not saying that's a disability, but I'm just saying, it's a delicate subject, so
Yeah.
it's worth just keeping in mind. In fact, I don't think disability was the right word. I feel bad for using that term, but a learning difference. That's
Learning
much better.
need. Yeah. Learning
Yes,
difference. Yeah.
learning need, learning difference. It's absolutely there. We just have to think of how to approach it. So that's also something that we try to. It's optimizing. It's optimizing because something will turn people away, and something will attract people. Like, hey, that sounds interesting, and they might vibe with that because it's about their
Yeah.
personal feeling as well.
Yeah. And I think I was kind of actually assuming maybe she was targeting students outside of China, but I'm
Okay.
not sure. But again, think about what do students with autism struggle with? What behaviors do they exhibit? And
Mm.
those kind of things, when you're targeting those outcomes as a result of that learning difference, that's how you're going to be able to speak to parents who have children with similar learning needs, but they don't have a label on it because they are
Yeah,
reluctant to put labels.
absolutely.
Great. I'm also struggling with a niche. Can you have more than one niche? Maybe phonics and Cambridge for young learners. So the niche is who you are serving, how you're serving them, and the transformation that they will get from your teaching. So um, you're talking about phonics, which is something that you're teaching. So think even more specific, like what kind of students. Try to picture your ideal student. So think about that one student. Who is that one student that you can really help specifically? How old are they? Where do they live? What's their income bracket? What do they struggle with at school? What English needs do they struggle with? So almost like create a profile for that person. In the sort of marketing world, it can be called different things like a sort of avatar or ideal customer, or there's other ones that I'm not thinking of at the moment. But you can get really specific, and then when you're creating the marketing, the language, who you're speaking to, think about that one student that you can help. Hello, Carol.
Carol was in our boot camp, and I just
Oh,
want to
cool.
shout her out because Carol
Hi,
converted
Carol.
3 students in the middle of our boot camp.
Yes,
3 students
it
in
was
one day.
incredible.
In one day.
Wow. Awesome. Carolyn, you've got a comment here. Let's see. I've got success with students. It's too late to read this much. Just kidding. I have success with my students writing about something that interests them and then building my lessons around their interests. Awesome. They generally do a short essay a week. Cool. I also have them send copies of their English work done at their school so that I can help them with any weak areas and also get to see what their teachers are focusing on. Great strategy. One of my goals is to help them to be successful in their English education in China. That's awesome. You're doing great things. I didn't mean that as an insult to your comment. I was just overwhelmed with with reading and making sure I could process it. Hey, Mia in Cape Town, Kinga and Chris provide invaluable information during the course. Make sure to join their next boot camp. Awesome. Don't know when that is. Join the course. What they're trying to say is that it used to be easy to get students on Xiaohongshu, but then they created courses and sold out the secret.
I
And
want to
now,
address this
okay.
because I always tell I always tell teachers, you're not for everybody and everybody's not for you. That's clearly an
Exactly.
example here. And I just want to say this. When I got on Xiaohongshu, I could have been secret. I mean, I could have been more discreet and been fearful that if I had shared this valuable resource with other teachers that it would take away from my student base, but I'm confident in who I am as a teacher, and that wasn't the case for me. And if I thought about if someone was out there who was struggling like me, I know what that feels like. Why wouldn't I share that information further? I know how much I relied on a community to be where I am today. Why wouldn't I give back to that community? So I
Yeah.
have no regrets sharing anything of value that can help people be successful, especially teachers. So, but
Yeah.
other people might disagree, and that's okay.
And there are billions of users on
Exactly.
Xiaohongshu, and
Yes,
there are not billions of teachers on Xiaohongshu. And I always say there's room at the table for everybody.
I agree.
You didn't create courses and sell a secret. You're just sharing ways that teachers even now can be successful and market themselves. It's not too crowded. It is there's and not every student out there is the type of student you should be teaching anyway.
Exactly.
You're marketing to your. That's why you need to get clear on your niche, AI, and work on the mindset a little bit about
Work
that.
on your mindset.
There's not it's not difficult for everybody at all. It's just the
Absolutely.
landscape has changed a little bit and our marketing needs to change a little bit. So
Chris, how many users are on? Are you willing to share that information with us? How many users are on Xiaohongshu? Chris knows this statistic.
Yes. So active users. So that means people that are on their feed and commenting and engaging. 100 million active users. So
wow.
a lot.
And they really, the majority of the users are, sort of millennial /
Exactly.
young mothers of students within
About
the ages that many of us are probably wanting to teach.
yeah, about 85% of the active users on the app are 35 and younger. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
a lot of room on the table.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Karen. Is Xiaohongshu popular in Hong Kong? So if you're targeting Hong Kong students, you can use other methods as well. But yeah, there's users in Xiaohongshu in all over. So
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I got students before their course came out and offer there's room for all teachers. Yes.
Thank
My
you.
students want to be my student. Yes, exactly. Cool. Well, this is just awesome to chat with you guys, and thank you for giving up your time to come on. And I love being a resource to share good stuff out there. And I think what you guys have been able to do with your own teaching businesses is just amazing and inspirational for other teachers who are struggling with student base and marketing and all those kinds of things. So I think the launch going solo course and Create and Funnel work so well together, and happy to connect with you guys. So anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
No, we just we want to thank you for giving us this platform to share, more about this valuable resource. That is actually even just Xiaohongshu for teachers. I mean, that is a resource you guys have, to have a community. You guys can poll the group for any information, get support when you're feeling down, and if you happen to join one of our boot camps, which I don't know when the next one will be. We've done 3 in 1 month, so we need a little break to focus on this baby that we're actively creating right now. And we cordially invite you to join us on this journey and allow us to help you scale your business to the degree that you have imagined for yourself.
Awesome. And Kinga's on Instagram at teacher.kinga. And Chris is on Instagram too, but I don't know your Instagram, Chris. What is that?
Yeah. It's it's sofetch.cd. I can go ahead and
go ahead and type that. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you coming on. Have a wonderful day, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Well, that was great. And thank you for sticking around to the end. If you're watching this on the replay, yeah, leave us some comments on what you think about all of this. And if you're interested in going independent, you can also head over to onlineteacherdude.com/launch and you can join the waitlist. And I teach you the basics of getting started, working with your mindset, learning the business side of independent teaching, getting organized, launching with a framework, making the key decisions, and learning how to, get everything kind of put together because it can be so overwhelming. So onlineteacherdude.com/launch, and the links that we talked about for create and funnel the on Xiaohongshu, what we were talking about with Kinga and Chris, will be below in the description of the video. And their Facebook group is Xiaohongshu for Teachers. I appreciate you guys being here so much. This was so much fun, so well attended, and lots of great comments and questions in the chat. So I will bid you all farewell and hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Whether you're teaching or like me, I'm kind of taking this week off from teaching because I'm heading back to Bangkok at the end of the week, and we'll be back to regular programming next week. So thanks, everybody. Take care, and thanks for being here.